What's up, you guys? What's up? It is humid than a mug out here, so if you hear some noise every now and then, I'm sitting outside by the pool out here. But I'm just chilling, and I did want to make some videos, and definitely wanted to make a video about what I just posted on my Facebook about. And if you don't see the post, that just means I didn't put it on that Facebook. But I wanted to give some information about how, if you're a business owner, if you're a hairstylist, a braider, or if you own any type business, to be honest. So I kind of pinpoint those businesses because, you know, I had a storefront and I had, you know, 2 salon suites at the same time that I had the storefront. So trust me, it wasn't that I just knew everything that I was doing. You know, a lot of stuff I learned along the way. I've always been good with handling money. I've always been very frugal. I've always been very analytical. So a lot of it is just, you know, but when you own a business, and, you know, that's just in life, you know, that in general, you know, that's just in life, you know, whether you have a business or just, you know, just regular life. So, you know, but I just want to make a little brief video about, you know, how to prepare if you own a business. Because like I said, my husband and I had a storefront salon opened in 2008. We know the Great Recession happened in 2008. Also, we had 2 salon suites at the same time. So most people think salon suites are very affordable because they are, you know, small. It's like a small room, and so people think they're very affordable. They could be, you know, what some people make. It just depends on, you know, what you're trying to do. You know, they have some that make mom and pop salon suite, because to be honest, a lot of people are opening up salon suites now. So sometimes you get the mom and pop ones, sometimes you get the franchises. You know, it just depends on what you're trying to do. So, and then, like I said, opened the storefront in 2008. The Great Recession happened maybe 3 or 4 months after we opened, and we did survive that. I'm grateful to God for that. But anyway, so we keep hearing in the news, you know, about, you know, I'm going to put some information up here and some links too. But we keep hearing in the news, you know, that there's going to be another recession, or there may be another recession, or there may be another recession coming up. Recession, we keep hearing and seeing that all of these businesses are closing that's been around, you know, stores and stuff that's been around maybe since we were a kid or something like that. You know, but stores that we definitely know of that has a long tenure, you know, a long history of being around, you know, forever. You know, and you hear about them closing and stuff like that. So, you know, that could be kind of leery for, or kind of scary for, like a small business owner who, you know, don't have all that history and all that tenure behind your business. Like, we're not, a Sugar Salon wasn't Sears, or Sugar Salon was a J.C. Penney's, you know, we didn't have that type of history. So, you know, you can be a small business owner and, you know, your business may have been around 2-3 years, or could be longer, but at the end of the day, you know, we don't have all of that revenue behind us that maybe a Sears had, or J.C. Penney's, or, you know, some of these other stores that we keep hearing are closing. You know, it's just, you know, and for me, you know, I had this personality where I could be very type A, very more structured, and I believe, you know, it's better to be proactive than reactive. When you're proactive, you kind of plan in advance, you plan ahead, you kind of prepare. But when you type B, or when you reactive, you actually kind of wait till the last minute. You don't prepare, you don't do things in advance, you know. So, you know, to me it's best to, when you own a business and you're paying out all that rent every month, you know, you're paying light, water, gas, all these taxes that you pay in a storefront, you know, and all of this other stuff that sometimes people don't find out until after they get in the storefront. You know, you want to be prepared. So how can you be prepared for, you know, a looming recession? Or you keep hearing about recession. So one thing that you can do is market. You know, you always, when you own a business, in my opinion, you always want to market yourself. You always want to be marketing, because, you know, your goal should always be, as any type of business owner, you always should be striving to bring in new customers, new clients. You should always be doing that.
Thank you.
So you always want to be. So, like I said, market. Try to build up. And then, you know, try to build up your client database. Database is very important. What that is, that's your book of business. That's all your clients. You have your clients, all your customers. They are in one database, and so that's the database. Your client database is very important to the success or failure of your business. You know, so you always want to be striving to build up that database of customers. So even if you hear that, you know, there could possibly be a recession coming, or even if you hear that, you know, a recession is on the way, or even if you see all this doom and gloom out here with all these long-time businesses that's been around, all these long-time brands, and they shutting down, you know, just stay focused on what you're doing, and again, market, and then try to build up your client database. You know, again, we're focusing on, I'm trying to help you to be proactive instead of reactive. So you're hearing all this stuff in the news right now. You're seeing all this stuff going on, but you want to be proactive, okay? You want to start building that client database.
Thank you.
And then, you know, sometimes you can rent out your space. You know, if you have, if you're in a commercial property, you know, like a brick and mortar storefront, then, you know, I'm sure you're not in your salon every day. I'm sure you're not there every day. You can sublet, meaning pretty much just let another business owner use it. And then, you know, if you start kind of doing that and trying that out and you see that kind of working, then you want to do that even more. And then you can kind of streamline your business days and your business hours. And you kind of streamline it, because sometimes when you own a business, especially a storefront business, you know, because when I had mine, you know, sometimes I would be tired and wouldn't want to go in there and open up on a Wednesday or something like that. But when you have a storefront property and you have a storefront business, you know, and you have your hours on the door, which most storefronts have, like they'll have on the door where they're open Monday through Saturday, or Tuesday through, if you get what I'm saying. And it'll have the business hours on there as well. So, you know, when you own a storefront, you know, commercial property, you tend to do that way. You tend to put your business hours on there. You tend to put your business days on there. But in all honesty, you know, when you own a business, you're tired. You're exhausted as the owner, and you really don't want to go in. Like you may have on your door that you're open Tuesdays from 10 to 6 or something, or 10 to 7. So whether you have a client or not, you still have to go and open up that business. And you know, when you own a business, you're exhausted. You don't want to go in there, you ain't got no client, you tired, you're exhausted, you've been working long hours all the rest of the day, and here go Tuesday. And so it's just not a good look, because if people do come, if you do go ahead and don't open up, and then some potential customer comes and pulls on your door at your storefront where you do have on the door that you are open on Tuesdays from 10 to 6, and they come up there on a Tuesday like 11:30 or something, they try to pull on the door and you're closed, that's not a good look for your business. So
thank you.
What you can try to do is, in preparation for, you know, kind of streamlining your business and trying to cut back and trying to be proactive and, you know, trying to be prepared if we do have another recession, you can kind of streamline your business hours. If you see you not, you know, if you don't have a big clientele, if you own a salon and you have a commercial property, a brick and mortar salon, and you see that, yeah, you're open on Tuesdays, but you don't even have that many people on a Tuesday, then you want to streamline, you know, and this is not me telling you what to do. This is just me trying to give you good business advice. And it may work for your business. It may not work for you. You may not even think this is a good idea. But if you streamline your business days and your business hours, and you don't kind of have them all over the place, then you can streamline your business days and hours to maybe 3 or 4 days. And then that way you are preparing for if you do end up subletting your business. So you may end up subletting your business, and that's another option. And so this is all about preparing. So if you see that you're open 6 days a week, but you see that 2 or 3 of the days that you're open is extremely slow. So that's already telling you that you probably can streamline your business and not be open all those days, but you can, you know, kind of streamline your business days and hours. That'll also help you save money and stuff like that. That will also have you will already be prepared to sublet. So anyway, so there's that. And then you want to, if you don't have that many stylists, like some people have storefront salons. When I had mine, I had a lot of stylists because I feel like, you know, I knew my husband and I was going to market the salon and that the stylist would stay busy. So even if you have a storefront salon and it may just be you and 2 other stylists and you have space for more, in my opinion, it doesn't really make sense to have a storefront salon and you have all this space available, but you're not doing anything with the space. To me, that's a waste of money, and to me, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a storefront business. So I'm mainly I'm mainly talking about like salons because that's what I owned before. And so, you know, you guys, you can do that. So what you can do is just start, if you know, don't be discouraged, or don't, you know, because sometimes when you have a service industry type business, sometimes you can feel like it's overwhelming and it's exhausting. Like the more people you have in there, the more exhausting it might be. But like I was just saying, like y'all young people say, make it make sense. If you have a commercial space, you're spending a lot of money, you're paying a lot of overhead, you got light, water, gas, all this other stuff, and all these different taxes that you got to pay. So, you know, it would make more sense if you would hire more people. So if you don't want to hire more stylists, you know, you can get some braiders, you can get some lash techs, you can get, you know, people that do facials, you can get other small business owners, massages, but just make it to where they pretty much are subletting, meaning that they got to pay you a rent, you know, as opposed to commission, because when it comes to commission, you end up doing a lot as the owner. So you want to bring people in who are already established and who can bring, you know, bring some revenue in to you. And so pretty much you just want to get people who already have an established book of business, and they can come in and just pay you like a weekly rental or something like that. In my opinion, you definitely want to be marketing to try to, if you have space. You know, if you have a salon, a storefront salon, and you have like 6 or 7 stations, but you only have 2 stylists working there, then what are you going to do with that other space? Like, what are you going to do with the other spaces that you have? What are you going to do with the other stations that you have? Like, you're really just wasting money if you're not kind of renting those out. If you're not trying to get anybody else in there, then I would recommend you take those stations out and then like sublet to other tenants, you know, where they can use that space for what they're trying to do. You always want to be thinking about ways to earn revenue when you have a space. So that's one thing you can do, and I'm just throwing out ideas for you. And then you want to make sure that, you know, for social media, because there's some business owners who they just may be on Instagram, but they're not anywhere else because they may say they don't have time. Because, you know, to promote your business on all of these different social media platforms, you know, it's not, I mean, it takes time. It takes a lot of time to do that. So if you have a salon and you just have Instagram and Facebook and that's all you have, well, to me, that's kind of defeating the purpose. I mean, in my opinion, when you own a business and if you have a space, if it's just you, that's one thing. But if you have a space where you can have other people working there, you got to make this make sense. You got to always be thinking about earning revenue, because why would you sign a 3 or 4 year lease, 3, 4, 5 year lease, then you're not really trying to be focusing on bringing revenue in. It's all about bringing the revenue in, because at the end of the day, you don't just want to be making an even break, because it's only so many times that you can claim a loss as a business owner. You can't do that for the whole time you're in business. So you got to make it make sense. You got to be doing stuff that's gonna, you know, generate revenue, or that's gonna show that you're trying to bring in new customers. So some people may have a business and they may just have, you know, 2 social media platforms. Well, there's so many social media platforms out here. There's a lot of them. You know, I ain't gonna name them all. I'll put some on the screen. But you know what I'm saying? They're free, so it doesn't make sense if you don't have them. Now, if you have a storefront salon and you have stylists that work in there, you need to require, if you don't have time as the owner to promote the business on all these social media platforms, you need to require that your stylists do that. You know, have them to do that, because as an owner, you can't do everything. You're only one person. There's no way you can do everything, so you need to require that they do it. And so you need to get on every platform there is my suggestion. And so again, you can have your stylists, your people that work there, you can have them promote with the business. And then, you know, I think it was like in 2011, 2012, I came up with this idea when I had my storefront to be open on Sundays. Now at the time in my area where my salon was, and that day and time, I don't think there were any salons open on a Sunday to my knowledge, but it just dropped in my spirit. Now I'm a church girl, I'm a Christian, I love some Jesus, so I would go to church. I was attending church and stuff, so, but it came in my spirit about being open on Sunday, so I didn't know how it would work at all. I didn't overthink it. I just asked a couple of my braiders, because I'm thinking, okay, maybe the braiders, you know, might want to work on a Sunday. I asked a couple of them, you know, if they wanted to work on a Sunday. They said yeah, and I was shocked, because they said yeah. I was absolutely shocked. So I'm sorry I keep looking around on my side. I'm right by the pool and I see people walking all around, so excuse me. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, Sunday? So I was shocked when they said yeah, when they said that they would want to do it. So I was shocked. So start opening on Sunday and it just blew up. It just blew absolutely up. So the reason I'm bringing up Sundays, because you may have, like we were just mentioning, those days that your business is open, but they're not really lucrative days. They're not really bringing in a lot of revenue. So since we were just talking about that, then Sunday. Now, one thing about Sunday that kind of works, a lot of people now after COVID, they started streaming. They stream church. Some people still go to church live at the sanctuaries, but some people stream church online, so it's to each his own. But for Sundays as a business, you know, especially a service business like hair or something with service, Sundays usually tend to work very well for people. But when I had my storefront and I started opening on Sundays, it blew up. It took off. Because if you think about it, if you're a parent and you have young kids, you know, that's in school, a lot of times they have a lot going on Saturdays. So you as a mom, you got to take them here, there, and everywhere. So Saturday, to bring your child to get their hair done, or for you to get your hair done, because you're taking your son everywhere. You got practice over here, your daughter got practice over there, and then you can't even get your hair done on a Saturday. So even though Saturday works well for a lot of people, it don't. So when you're open on Saturdays and Sunday, you know, the Sunday kind of blow up. Now, this is just a suggestion. This is something you can try out. You know, you might want to try it out, test the water, see how it go. You know, maybe be open one Sunday a month, see how that go. And then, you know, if it starts blowing up, you know, then just do what you got to do. And then if you open up on a Sunday, you can cut out one of your weekdays, and you can make that weekday that you cut out, that you be closed on that weekday and open on a Sunday. But cut out that one day, whether it was that Tuesday I spoke of or whether it was a Wednesday. Cut out that slow weekday and then do a Sunday. And then when you cut out that slow weekday, then that will allow you to have more mom time, where you can drop your kids off at school. You can pick them up from school if you desire to do that. Or at least by the time they get home from school, you've already cooked dinner, you've cleaned, you've done what you need to do. And so on that Sunday, you can be open like maybe from 8 or 9 to maybe like 4 or 3 or something like that. And then you can kind of do that and have your other people who work there, you can have them do it. Sometimes you can be off on a Sunday and have them in there. Because me, I didn't really, when I started it out, like I said, I just had it open for the braiders. I didn't really work. I just used to go to church. Well, I would let them in, open up for them, and then I would go to church, and then after church, I would go back up there. So you can kind of think about that, because Sunday, in my opinion, or when I was doing it at my salon, it was a very busy day, very lucrative day, brought in a lot of revenue, and so that allowed me to cut back on another day. So you can try that. Try an unorthodox day like a Sunday. And I know God, I'm a Christian, He wants us to rest. So you can have your day of rest, but your day of rest may be a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So that may be something you want to try out. And again, right here, I'm talking about preparing for a slowdown, preparing for a recession. This is what I'm talking about. So I'm trying to tell you days that may help you bring in more revenue.
Thank you.
And help you prepare. And again, we already kind of touched on how you can kind of pull back some of your days. If you have too many days open for customers, but you may open on a Tuesday and you may just have 4 people that whole day, then that's not a day that you need to spend coming in there, turning the lights on, turning the air on. You know, that's going to cause you, it's going to cost you way more money than it has actually earned you. So
thank you.
You got to sit down with yourself, sit down with a pen and paper, and you got to sit down with yourself. And you have to do this. I would recommend doing this quarterly when you own a business. Just see what works for your business and what doesn't. What's bringing in revenue and what doesn't. And I think I've already touched on kind of hiring more stylists, hiring more, people. I talked about, you can kind of sublet. And then you can, you can rent out your space as well. You can rent your space out. Like if you're not open on a Sunday, then that's a great day that you probably can rent out your space. And so what can you rent it out for? You can rent it out for vlogging. You can rent it out for content creation. You can rent it out for photo shoots for photographers who don't have a space, who don't have a photographer studio. You can rent it out to them. You can rent it out for events. Sometimes people want to have events, or they may want to have a class. You can rent your space out for that. You can rent your space out for pop-up shops and pop-up shows. Sometimes, I'm in Atlanta. Right now I'm out of town for my birthday. But whenever I'm out of town, I'm always going to be trying to help people, trying to make videos. It doesn't matter if I'm on vacation or not. I'm always going to have other people on the forefront of my mind. That's just who I am. So love people, love you guys. So you can rent your space out for pop-up shops and stuff like that. I'm based in Atlanta and I'm a retired stylist, so I don't do hair anymore. But, I had my salon and my suites for many years. And so, I have ideas because I know some things that I tried and that they worked. And so, a lot of people like having pop-up shops or pop-up businesses. You can have it on your website where they can actually go on there and they can book the rental. They can book it to use your space. You guys, it's so many ways to do things, especially, when you own a business or when you have a storefront. Now, if you don't have a storefront, but you have a salon suite, pretty much same thing almost. There's some things you can do, a lot of things you can't do that are commercial property you can do in. But if you have a salon suite, you definitely can share your suite. I'm sure you're not in there 7 days a week. So you can, find somebody and you can offer where, you can offer something unorthodox, like some stylists or some professionals, some service providers, they don't have big of enough book of business to where they need to be in a salon suite 5 or 7 days a week, or either renting a booth in a storefront salon 5 or 7 days a week. Like some of them don't have that many clients to where they want to be spending out that kind of money. And then when you're in the service industry and you're a hairstylist, you're not only paying the rent for your suite or for if you're working in a storefront, renting a booth, that's not only bills you have. You got car notes, you got mortgage, you got rent, you got other stuff to pay too. So sometimes people are not looking to be in a space that they have to pay every week a weekly fee, meaning renting it 5-7 days a week. Like some people are not trying to do that. So just like Airbnbs, my husband and I, we decided to stay at a hotel this time. Normally he doesn't want to do hotels because ever since COVID we started doing Airbnbs, but now this is our second time staying in a hotel in many years. But But anyway, just like Airbnbs, you can rent those Airbnbs out for 2 days, or you can rent the Airbnb out for extended periods of time, or you can rent the Airbnb out for 5 days, you know. And so some people who are in the service industry, like hairstylists, braiders or something, they don't need a suite for, you know, to be in, and it, you know, they need to be using it 7 days a week. Like, some people haven't got to that level. And to be honest, sometimes people don't even want to be doing hair that many days a week. They only want to do hair maybe like part-time, you know, because they may be a mom and they don't, so they not looking for, they want to be in a suite, but they don't want to be, you know, like have a full-time space that they got to pay so much money for. And so a lot of suites don't offer where they allow that 2-day or that 3-day a week kind of schedule. So if you own a salon suite, like if you're currently renting a salon suite and you're in that situation, and you know, then you can kind of, you know, share your suite with someone else. Like, you may just want to use it. You may have started out when you first got the suite on a full-time schedule, but now you may just be trying to pull back some, you know, on your schedule. Because doing hair is very physical. It's very hard on your physical body. And so you may want to, you know, rent it out. Like, maybe if you use it 3 days a week, and then let the other person who you share your suite with, let them use it. You know, most salon suites don't mind, you know, they just, you know, you have to check with the brand that you're under, you know, and you know, ask them tell them what you're trying to do. And then they can tell you know what their guidelines and rules and regulations are. Because anytime you own a business, you can't be all willy-nilly. You have to have policies and procedures in place. So whatever salon suite brand that you're at, you know, just check with them first. Show them that much respect. Check with them and see what their policies and procedures are. And then if they're okay with it, and you know you don't need the room all of them days, then if you currently work out of a salon suite, then maybe you want to share it with somebody, whether it's a stylist, a braider, a barber. You know, a lot of salon suites don't mind that. And so there's another opportunity for you to prepare a second plan, be proactive instead of reactive. When we may end up hitting a slowdown, or we may end up going into a recession. So these are the things that you prepare for. The last and final thing is have a plan B. To me, in life, you just want to have a plan B. You know, some people don't have a plan B with anything, like with their business, and you ask them, okay, what happens if this, that, and the third happen? You know, what would you do? And then they sit there, you know, like a deer in the headlights. You hear crickets. You can't do that. You have to have a plan B, because if something doesn't work out, or something don't seem to be working, or something is not going well, if you don't have a plan B, then you're setting yourself up for failure. You have to have a plan B. And so the same with this, what I'm talking about. That's why I'm giving you guys these suggestions. I hope you like them. I hope they help. I hope you think they're good ideas. Maybe you may implement some or all, I don't know. But you don't want to sit there all willy-nilly and just sit there and cop a squat and just, you know, don't do anything, when you keep seeing in the news that, you know, a lot of long-time established retailers are going out of business, or they're closing a lot of locations, or they're subletting, or they're filing bankruptcy, or they're doing all of this stuff. So you definitely want to be prepared. If you see all of this going on, don't get fear in your heart. Just be prepared. Just go ahead and start doing some of these things. And like I said, when my husband and I opened our storefront in 2008, maybe 3-4 months after we opened, the recession started. We survived it because I was doing all this stuff that I'm telling you. Like I was being proactive and not reactive. So you want to do the same thing. So anyway, I hope this has helped. If you know any good tips, drop them down below. And I'm going to see you guys next time. You have a blessed day and a blessed Labor Day. See you soon. Peace and blessings.